Matt Hall here with Jeffrey Martin again for K-State Online. Just watched K-State fall 42-35 to number 9 Oklahoma.
Right.
Tale of two halves for sure. Let's just throw it up into you and give us your thoughts on what you saw out here at Bill Snyder Family Stadium.
I think you saw lots of progress. I think it's not enough. I think the veteran, the legend coach, Bill Snyder, I think he was pretty disappointed. I feel like this is one that got away. You could tell.
Yeah.
Just real kind of, I don't want to say introspective, but just kind of lamenting, like, like that. I'm tired of going into the locker room and having the same tone going in there after losses like this. And so, the flip side is that, it's going to end next week because it's KU.
Yep.
But they still have some things they got to straighten out, but there was progress. I think the offense took a huge step forward. I mean, for at least a half and for a few minutes in the fourth quarter. But they got to get those complete 60 minutes. This just hasn't happened yet this season, and that's frustrating.
Well, let's talk through that. Let's go through the game a little bit. So at halftime, K-State leads 21-10, has a great chance to be up either 21-7 or even more than that, but still up 21-10, completely outplayed Oklahoma in the first half, had the game in their control. And at that point, there's a lot of football left. Oklahoma's going to put points on the board, but you felt good about things if you're a K-State person.
You did, because I think you thought you were going to see more of what you saw in the first half, but I don't think you did, because I felt like I couldn't get any confirmation of this, and it's just my theory, but I feel like after Alex Dalton's interception late, which probably I won't say it puts the game away, but it if they get a field goal on that possession, right. I think right before the half, I think that really puts this game at a really comfortable distance.
Yeah, 24-7 feels a lot different than 21-10.
Absolutely, and so I think that pick, the interception, I think shook K-State staff a little bit. I think it shook the confidence in Dalton, who was having a great game. I think they put the training wheels back on a little bit, and I think they skated the third period. I think their third quarter, I think they're pretty lucky. It was, 21-20 at the end of the third quarter, and I think it was really a wasted opportunity, because I think they should have kept the foot on the accelerator. And my reason for saying that is how Alex finished the game. I was focused. I think he realized he was in the zone. I asked him about the interception, told me basically that it was miscommunication with him and Isaiah Zuber. In my experience, when a quarterback says that so willingly, that it was his fault, miscommunication, it's usually the wide receiver's fault, and the quarterback is playing the good captain, leader of the offense, that whole thing, and is taking the blame for it. So, but I don't know. I like Isaiah Zuber too. Who knows what happened there? But I know that was a mistake, and it was just the only major miscue that a quarterback in his second career start made. He was 12 of 14. He ran for 160 or something.
Yeah, I think I just looked. I think it was 142 and 3 scores,
yeah.
12 of 14. I didn't realize that until you said it after the game. 2 incompletions. Really solid game against a very talented defense for sure.
Yeah, I thought he played great, and and to me, I'm just kind of and I'll probably write about this for tomorrow in the post game. I'm just disappointed that I don't think he was at all part of the problem. And I'm not suggesting that anyone said he was. I just know that they kind of harped on the interception. I don't think it was. They couldn't get a stop in the fourth quarter. To me, if you're going to point at something, that's what you point at. You say, we got to get off the field, and they couldn't do that.
Well, I think what you're saying too, and we're probably glossing over it, and I feel like that happened today probably a little in this press conference. You have a sophomore quarterback making his second start, goes 12 of 14, I think, for 144 and a score. He carries it for 144 and 4 touchdowns.
24 carries.
That's a really fantastic ball game, but we're left here not talking about that for some reason. I guess technically we are talking about it, but the message doesn't seem to be that because of what happened in the game.
Yeah, and it goes back to we're going full circle, and that's cool because we intended to do that, but we didn't.
Right.
But what it is to me is that you don't have all 3 phases again for what is this? We're 6-7 weeks in.
Yeah.
Yet another week where you don't have a complete game, and we've been saying that. I literally remember doing this early, being like, "Hey, passing game clicking, but the running game isn't a concern. Defense is pretty bad, but especially it's the same thing every week." And so if there's an inconsistency, it's in the inconsistency, right? That's the cliche.
Yep.
So I think you're going to see some progress again next week because it's KU. It's going to be pretty hard to not look good against those guys. But I don't, you just got to keep getting sharp. And like I said, going into this game, I feel like there's going to be enough teachable things, stuff that you can build on here. But you got to just keep moving forward here because November is going to be rough.
We said at the start, tale of two halves, and if you look at it on paper, I just figured it up a second ago. Oklahoma outgains K-State, I believe, 390 to 96 in the second half.
Yeah.
So couldn't have been more different. At what point were you watching that game in the second half, and maybe it was right away, but that you thought K-State has to do something different, at least defensively, and that never really happened?
Well, I mean, again, a phrase that I'm using is air of inevitability. Like, I just felt like you just know how this thing ends. Like, I just think, like, once things started kind of snowballing, you knew that Baker is figuring things out. And, I mean, he could get whatever he wanted anyway. I mean, he's a fantastic college quarterback. I mean, amazing. I mean, he's just a joy to watch. But let's be honest. I mean, there wasn't a whole lot of resistance out there.
Right.
And I hate to say that because his defense has been playing really, really good. You know, statistically, you know, competent, pretty high rankings, you know, nationally and everything. And this was a step back.
Oh, absolutely. We'll talk more about the big picture throughout this coming week and what we see for the rest of the season. I know you think, we both do, that they're going to go to Lawrence and handle KU and get back to 4-4. As you and I talked before we started this, I think you feel confident in this team making a bowl game, but let's make it official. You still, after that effort today, you look at this team as one that's going to get things going for this month of November and find a way to get some wins?
I'm trying to look at the whole day, you know, as one big, like, I guess, piece, or think of the whole. Anyway, the point is, what I look at and I say, like, not just what happened out here, I think what happened elsewhere too. And I think Texas Tech is having some swoon right now, and I think they're kind of damaged. I think Oklahoma State is where, if you can play Oklahoma like this, I think that you can probably hang with OSU. I think there's a lot of games I think we looked at where just like,
West Virginia and Iowa State at home.
Right. Yeah. And so, I mean, Iowa State, wow, you know, we don't know about that, but maybe you switch that with
Texas Tech.
Right. Who knows? You know, but the point, I think there's 2 more games out there after KU. And I didn't think that days ago, and that just shows you how fluid this whole thing is. And it also shows you there's no world beaters too. Like, I thought, says at halftime, if they could get this game today, I'm like, well, who knows? Maybe suddenly you can play your way back into something at the end of the season. And so, but they have to get right, and they got to play a complete game. And I think when they do that, I think it's going to be this thing where it's going to be infectious, and going to be like, oh, so that's what coaches and everybody's been talking about. And then you try to mimic that, and then you try to close the season strong. But I think it's still in them. I do. I
think last point, I'll put you on the spot, and we'll wrap this up. Jesse Yurts didn't dress today. We've talked about Alex Dalton kind of day he had. Obviously, Jesse Yurts isn't super healthy if he's not dressed. Are you at a point 7 games into the season where Alex Dalton's your quarterback the rest of the way regardless, or do you go back to Jesse when he's healthy? This is a tough one, but I'm putting it on you.
You're asking me.
Asking you.
I
would
stick with Dalton just because I feel like I saw the improvement from start 1 to start 2, and I thought it was seismic. I was blown away today. I thought he was great. I thought he had control of the offense. I thought he was in command. He was fun to watch, and he's healthy right now. That was my biggest thing. I don't think Jesse Erson can be 100%. But I know a lot of coaches are just like, look, you can't lose your job to injury, right? So, you know, knowing Bill, I bet you Jesse will still get the job, because November is going to be a pretty difficult month. And the reasoning there, which I could go along with, is that, you know, hey, now you know we have a competent quarterback. Maybe, you know, if you have to bring Alex in for some series and everything, you know you have another guy. You know, that's cool. I get that. But I think he has shown enough right now that, like, and I think his teammates are playing pretty hard for him, because, at least on offense, that I would stick with Alex just because I think he's the future.
I lied to you. Last question. More fun today, Fran Fraschilla or Gus Johnson?
Well, I don't think we can really tell the Gus story. But,
so Fran by default?
Fran's great. I mean, Fran's the greatest human being on the planet. Well, one of them. He's in the top 5. I mean, he's a ball all the time, and he's always on. And we thank him for sitting with us and humoring us. And, yeah, should be good stuff to read, and those on to read a Q&A with Fran Fraschilla.
We appreciate you taking the time to watch this. Some of you may have watched Jeffrey and myself twice today, basketball and football, so thank you for that dedication. We'll do better next time. For Jeff Martin, this is Matt Hall with K-State Online. Jeff?
Okay, tell your friends.